Hello, my name is Landon Davis, and I'm here to interview to become the head football coach at Pace University. I'm really excited for this opportunity to interview, and I wish I could be there in person to talk to you, but Zoom's the best we could do. Thank God for Zoom, and all the things that it helps us do in life. But I'll begin. So, to begin with, my mission statement is to fight. No matter what, no matter the circumstance, no matter who we're playing, no matter if it's practice, I want my team to fight. Because I think when teams stop fighting, that's when culture shocks happen. That's when people lose the locker room. That's when things go downhill, right? And fight's an acronym that stands for focus on the task at hand. Intensity means success. Grit makes champions. Hustle every rep and teamwork above all else. I could go down the line and share how important each of these are. So I will focus on the task at hand. I feel like week to week, game to game, rep to rep, we have a tendency to look forward, at the start of the season, oh, I want to win a conference. Oh, I want to win a national championship. Oh, I can't wait till the season starts. I want to win next game. All these things, we're looking ahead. We're not focusing on the task at hand, right? Focus on the weight room. Focus on running. Focus on practice, right? Don't focus on what you're going to eat after practice. Focus on this rep. How can I run this rep as perfectly as I can? How can I do this drill as perfectly as I can? Am I watching the person in front of me getting mental reps and getting better? You know, it's things like this that will might not seem super significant, but once they're accepted by everyone, once there's a full buy-in, it'll make the program that much better. Um, Another thing, intensity means success. I want things to be intense. I want practice to be intense. It's when people are just lackadaisical about practice, going through the motions, there's no intensity, that's losing football team. It's losing program from top to bottom. There needs to be intensity. I want my coaches intense. I want my GAs intense. I want my players intense. I want the water girls intense. I want every level, everyone to be focused on the task at hand, and I want them to be intense in doing so. So that type of intensity with that type of focus will let us go in any direction that we want. Grit makes champions. It's gonna be hard. The road to success is hard. Nothing will be given to us, nothing will be easy. Things are gonna be difficult, and that's just how it is. Grit makes champions. Having grit, being able to succeed when we have odds against us, when we have adversity. Every athletic competition is battling adversity. The bus breaks down. We have equipment malfunctions. The opponent's up on us. The refs are against us. Doesn't matter. Having grit and that ability to conquer over adversity is going to make champions. Hustle every rep. That kind of goes in line with intensity. I want you to be focused on the moment. I want you to be intense. I want you to try hardest. If you're an athlete of mine, I want you to do your absolute hardest. If you're not hustling, if you're not working to get better, then why are you here? I will go out of my way to recruit athletes who hustle. Hustle is huge to me and teamwork above all else. I want a family. I have a family. I love my family. I love my mom, my dad, my brother, my brother's girlfriend, my aunt, my uncles, their significant others. I love a close-knit family, and that's how I want my team to be. I want my staff to be like a family. I want even you guys. I want to be more connected with you guys in the hiring committee. I want to know your names. I want to know everything. I want Pace University to be a family. And I want my team to be a family in doing so. And teamwork is above all else. Once we are all bought in and working for each other towards a common goal, that's when we can succeed. My coaching philosophy. My philosophy is based on two main values, effort and desire. I think you can have a very complex coaching philosophy. You can have things all over the place that you worry about here and there, like, oh, I want to be able to do this and this and this and this, right? Effort and desire. I want my players to desire to get better. I want you to have that desire to get better, that desire to play football, that desire to succeed. And I want you to put in the effort to make it happen. I want you to desire the work. I want you to desire the process and then desire the end goal. And all of that requires effort. If you're lazy, but you have a desire for something, you'll sit there dreaming. You'll sit there, oh man, I wish I did this. I regret that I didn't do this. If you have effort but no desire, where are you going? You're an engine with no wheels. You have no direction, nothing pointing you anywhere. Desire gives us a goal. Effort gives us the ability to achieve that goal. And that's what I think would set us apart. And that's the philosophy that I think will take us to the next level. You can either sit on the couch, you can either desire to sit on the couch or not have the effort to sit on the couch, or you can aim that desire and effort towards winning the championship, towards success, towards elevating yourself as a human being. Coaching I admire. It's right on the slide. It says it. Honesty, competitiveness, competence. I want coaches who are going to fight to make their athletes better. That's what I'm looking for in my staff, and that's what I'm looking for in myself. I want to always be putting athletes first and helping athletes get better. And the way that I think doing this is honesty, competence, and competitiveness. I'm not going to lie to an athlete. If he comes to me and wants to know what he's doing wrong, I'm going to tell him what he's doing wrong. Are there times to, balance that? It's like, okay, athletes don't need to know all of the inner workings, 100%. But if he's like, Coach, am I getting in this week? I'll tell him. If he wants to know why he's not getting in this week, I'll tell him because I think they need that feedback in order to succeed. And I think coaches need that feedback in order to succeed. Um, and the two people who I think embody what I admire in coaching is Rashawn Jordan and Joe Reich. They were my head coach and defensive coordinator, respectively, when I played college football. Rashawn Jordan was also the linebacker coach, and I played linebacker, so him and I were very close. They Rashawn Rashawn Coach Jordan would rub people the wrong way. That's because he was yelling, he was screaming, he was intense all practice. If you took one wrong step, he was on you about it because he wanted there to be no false steps. He wanted you to be perfect. He would be cussing everything, right? But he was competitive. He was competitive and he was great at his job. He led the number one defense in all Division two football. And he never lied to me. After my freshman year when we had a meeting, he sat down with me. He's like, look, we got some freshmen coming in here. You're gonna be a sophomore, but we have some freshmen coming in here that are gonna get more reps than you, that we think have potential to really be game changers. And it hurt in the moment, but I respect that honesty. And Coach Reich, just a great guy all around. There's not a ton that can be not a ton of praise that can be heaped onto that. Just a great guy. Brother to Frank Reich, that's who people know a lot more. But Joe Reich was just silently one of the best head coaches in my opinion, all of college football, but definitely all of Division two football. For 22 years, he was at the head of the helm. He was honest. He was competitive. Man, he was great at his job. But he wasn't as intense as Coach Jordan. He was more laid back. He was cool. He was nice. He'll ask you how you're doing, how your family's doing, and all that. You could have whole conversations with him that don't even surround football. But at the root of them, these two very different coaching styles and two very different coaches. At the root, they wanted to make their athletes better people in and outside of their sport. That's really what I look for. Coaching I dislike: stubbornness, selfishness, inability to change. The world changes, sports change, things change. And sometimes there's coaches who are stuck in their way and who think it's their way or the highway and go on these kind of power trips. Um, I don't like to name names, but I'll show faces all day. My high school coach, he ended up getting fired from embezzling money from the football program after a 6 year career as the head coach. He was selfish. He would do things a lot of times that didn't make sense. Like if fourth quarter we were winning and there was a minute 30 left, we had the ball, could have just ran the clock out. He wanted a stat pad. He had a kid on the team who was putting money into his pocket to play more games, and he wanted to throw the ball four times. We ended up losing those games. He also had, a very educated strength staff. He had one of my favorite coaches that I've ever had, David Abella, who had a doctorate in kinesthesiology and exercise science, and he just wouldn't listen to anything that he said, and instead took on the duties as a strength coach. I think coaches who are stubborn and selfish, and are stuck in their ways, are detriment to themselves, the program, and the athletes. We need to change. We need to grow. We need to take other people and other. other people's feelings into account and what's best for the program and what's best for the athletes. Is it if we're up in a big game, if we're up 30 points, 40 points in the fourth quarter, is it better for me to keep keeping it on and, getting a higher point differential so when it's contract time, I can try to negotiate for more? Yeah, that makes me look great. Oh, we beat that team by 60? We beat them by 70? Oh, that's amazing. But what about those athletes? What about our star player who's still playing, who can get hurt against a team in a game that's already won? That would be me being selfish. I don't like coaches that do that. I don't want to be a coach or hire any coaches who do things like that. Because honestly, success as a coach is to lift athletes up in my program. At the end of the day, I want these kids to come into our college, come into our universities, high school kids come into our university and leave as men. We've got plenty of athletes who go to college and don't graduate. I won't, whether they graduate or not, I want my athletes to be great men. I want them to be leaders of their community. I want them to do community service. I want them to be capable of success at every level and in every degree. I could talk wins and losses all day. You guys went 2-8 last year. Did your coach succeed as a football coach? No. But did he succeed as a leader of men and as a developer of athletes? I don't know. I want to succeed as a leader of men and as someone who can lift these athletes up. And in lifting them up, the wins will come. When you have a group of men as opposed to a group of boys, wins will come. When you have people who are dedicated, who work hard, who have the effort and desire to succeed and chase the same goals as each other and work for each other as a team, as a family, wins will come. That's success as a head coach and as a coach in general for me. With that being said, my coaching objectives, you'll notice that there's no conference championship. There's no championship on here. There's no All-American, All-Conference, right? Those are athlete objectives, right? I want to win games. I want to succeed. Doing these things will lead to success in games, right? These are the steps up the staircase. These are the steps up the mountaintop that will help us succeed. Maintaining a GPA of a 3.0, team GPA of a 3.0, not not a single absence or being late from a class or team event in any way whatsoever. Always improve in a weight room. Notice how these are all measurable, right? Team GPA, we can count those. Attendances or late hardiness, we can count those. Weight room numbers, we can track those. I think it's very important to have measurable goals and measurable objectives. These are all of those. While they're not wins and losses, if we have guys who are dedicated, who are paying attention in the classroom, maintaining a good GPA, who are always in class and at team events like lifts, meetings, walkthroughs, all these things, and who are grinding and improving in the weight room, that's great culture. That's a culture right there that strives for greatness. That's a culture right there where everyone's bought in for success. Those are objectives for them to achieve that will lead us to a culture of success and a culture of that guys want to be part of. If you're an athlete coming in and you hear that everyone on the football team is completely bought in, they all have 3.0 GPAs, they don't miss classes or lifts, and they're always improving. As an athlete, I'm like, this is where I want to be. This is going to make me succeed. This is what's going to make me a better person, a better man. This coach is invested in me. This team is invested in me. And as a parent, I'll ship my kid off to this university all day. If this is the goal, the dream, this is the objective, those are things that I as a parent can buy into. So that's really what I want to get out of my team year in and year out. And by the time I graduate, I want to have strong men who are leaders of those in their community. And that's it. That concludes my interview. I'm not sure if you guys have any more questions or any more things that you need out of me, but I appreciate you giving me the time and the opportunity to interview for this position. Like I said, I'm really excited for this opportunity, and I hope that I can persuade you guys and I hope this did a great deal in persuading you guys and hiring me as the new head coach of Pace University. Thank you.